There are many times in life when we're forced to start over. Jobs and careers are no exception. Sometimes it's a layoff. Sometimes it's a toxic work culture. Other times it's just the end of a partnership or that quiet inner voice telling you that it's time for something different. But no matter the reason, if you're starting over, this message is for you. There are only a few things in life that are more gut wrenching than realizing you've been used. Not supported, not valued, and certainly not seen, just used. And I'm not just talking about a bad boss or a difficult job, although those things are bad enough. I'm talking about a deeper realization, one that begins the moment you recognize that everything you gave, your time, your effort, your energy, was treated like a transaction. Your contributions measured solely by output, while your humanity has been overlooked and maybe even diminished. And when that truth finally lands, it hurts. It makes you ask, how long have I been betraying myself just to survive here? How much of myself have I given away, given my all, for a paycheck, for approval, for so called security? Maybe the signs were always there, but you silenced them because you needed the job, you needed the income, but most of all, you needed to believe that it was worth it. But now the truth is loud and undeniable. Your dedication taken for granted, everything you gave treated like a transaction. And that realization, that can shake you. It can shake anyone because it brings about a tidal wave of grief, anger, and sometimes even shame. But it can also bring about something else, freedom. Because once you see something like that, once that realization sets in, you can't unsee it. And that's the moment you begin to take your power back. That's the moment you draw the line. You can set boundaries. You can make a different choice. You can start over. This message is personal for me because I have been there too. I've had to start over, and there's nothing like the sting of realizing you ignored your own instincts, that you stayed too long, that you kept pushing through, hoping that it would get better. And in the end, the price that's paid, it's far greater than ever expected. Because when a workplace is toxic, it doesn't just drain your energy, it erodes your identity, your belief in yourself, the sense of confidence that comes from being in an environment that values you. So, if this is where you are today, I want to share what helped me move forward because it might help you too. The first thing I did was to acknowledge the pain because starting over, it hurts. And while this might seem like an obvious step, it's one that is often overlooked, especially in the rush and noise of everyday life. And it doesn't matter if you're rebuilding your career, your confidence, or your life, it is going to be a journey. And one of the most important steps is learning to be patient with yourself and the season that you're in. And sometimes you're not planning, you're not at a stage where you're ready to do that for the next year or the next 6 months. Sometimes you're just trying to survive the next hour. And if that's where you are, breathe. Take the next step, just one. That's enough for the moment, for today, sometimes. Because slowly, step by step, you will move into a new phase of your journey. And it won't be easy. Nothing worth doing is ever really easy. And it won't be perfect, but it will come. And when it does, remember this: your worth isn't tied to a job title. It isn't measured by a paycheck. It isn't defined by your productivity. What defines you, what really shapes you, are the moments in life, those things that tried to break you and they didn't. That grief, yes, it's there. That collapse, it happened. That challenge is real, but that's okay because that's where transformation begins. And that pain, it becomes your power, your superpower, actually. And that heartbreak, it becomes your armor. That burnout becomes your clarity. Eventually, the lesson will land, and when it does, you'll probably make yourself the same promise I did: never again. Oh, yeah, and those battle scars, they tell a story of survival, a story of wisdom, a story of strength and growth. So don't worry about those scars, because from that hardship, you are stronger, more grounded in who you truly are. So, wherever you are on your path, I hope you pause long enough to see the beauty of your becoming. You're still here, and that means your story isn't over. It's just beginning again. If this spoke to you today, just know you're not alone. I've been there too, and I believe in what's ahead of you. Thank you for spending this time with me.